In Investing 101, Doomsday Investing with Gjertsen. He's the CEO of Engage Wealth Group. Great to have you here for one of your favorite topics, the end of the world portfolio versus putting money into savings or the stock market. What are your thoughts?
Well, I can tell you, Angie, throughout my career, I've had plenty of people try to convince me the end of the world is coming. And thankfully, they have not been right. And so when individuals think about, let's call it the Armageddon portfolio, generally it's revolved around precious metals such as gold. And what I often guide individuals at that are trying to convince me that the end of the world is around the corner is remember that the end of the world of when it possibly can occur would be nothing like what you think it is today. I mean, if you think about COVID, now COVID obviously was pretty detrimental to the overall economy and to our way of life. That was nowhere near, obviously, the end of the world. And yet so many people struggled just to get things like toilet paper and basic utilities, if you would, for your day-to-day living. So when you're thinking about creating a portfolio for the end of the world, I would not be necessarily looking at gold, but things to get by on the day-to-day. So it's really important to remember what we think in terms of what may not be even close to the case. So again, I don't see anyone taking gold coins to your local supermarket and trying to buy bread off the shelf, because I will tell you that bread will not be there.
That's strong commentary, but also people are loading up on gold and silver bars from Costco. It's nice to have those tangible assets, but remember the stock market, you still have to have a buyer and a seller, and mostly when you have those things, you need a buyer.
If you look at precious metals as a store of value, right, it's been around for thousands of years, gold, silver. And so again, a lot of individuals think about having these as a last resort, but again, you're not going to take gold and silver bars to your local supermarket and be able to exchange that and get any kind of funds back or cash back. So again, it's more of a balance in your portfolio, or a ballast potentially in your portfolio, to kind of look at precious metals as sort of that doomsday sort of asset. But again, just you have to really think through why you're holding these things, why you're holding precious metals, because again, it could be to help balance a small part of your portfolio rather than to prepare you for the end of days.
I know somebody who's buying diamonds for her retirement savings plan. Good idea, bad idea?
Yikes. And if you look at the wholesale diamond prices with a recent upcoming, if you would, of lab generated diamonds, you've got just diamonds going off the cliff. And don't forget, diamonds are controlled by De Beers, which is one of the biggest cartels in the country. I mean, and that's what they do. I mean, it's not an efficient market in any way, shape, or form.
Let's hear your safe haven ways to save money.
Some of the safe haven ways of saving money are more of the traditional routes. I mean, if you've got money that you really can't lose, literally money markets and CDs, government bonds. And the good news is those interest rates are actually rewarding you for some of those, unlike what we've seen over the last decade. So oftentimes when clients are looking for guidance, individuals are looking for guidance in terms of safe harbor assets, we definitely go to money markets and CDs and things that if things do go wrong, we know the government will potentially be there, whether it's through FDIC insurance or whether through their government issued bonds.
And yet there are people who've been through hard times and they feel the need to buy jewelry just in case.
You look at cultures, right? Indian culture, Chinese, I mean, they have stuff in the house. So if you ever talk to or have the opportunity to talk to somebody who is a war victim, somebody, who's the great act, the greatest generation, or those kind of folks, if they couldn't carry it on their back, forget it. And so that's kind of the key, is you got to be able to have a store of value. And that's why jewelry, and especially gold jewelry, is really important part of some cultures, because they know that if that's something, if I need to liquidate it or do something, they can get something for it.
Ed, we want to thank you as always for your wise words.
Thank you so much. Always appreciate the invite, Angie. Have a great day.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.